You ready to do this thing?
Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sweaty Casuals, brought to you by the Snowflake Sanctuary Discord server. This is the podcast where we usually talk about the games that we love to play, from the state of ranked systems to our thoughts on the newest sensations and everything in between. My name is Nox, and along with my co-host Zach, we will be your guides as we traverse Elo Hell. As a small reminder, we do swear, so viewer discretion is advised. Today, we are joined by Taken Tacos, and by Lord Bandito.
Of course.
In which we are going to talk about Minecraft and the new things that are around in the game. These two are probably some of our most active members in our Minecraft server, and have spent a lot of hours pouring into this game.
You hear how she talks to us, Bandito?
It feels a little disrespectful, but hey,
Look,
I mean, it's kind of a statement of truth, so...
I'm not denying that fact.
All right, what's the icebreaker?
Anyway, I want to know everybody's favorite build that they've ever done in a Minecraft server. So this could be a building that you made, a house, a contraption, a farm, whatever you want it to be.
Oh, I have my answer. I just want to find the name for it. Hold on. Someone else can go first.
I'll go first because I made the question and I already thought about this. We are throwing hands this early. This is great.
It's gonna be a feisty episode.
I say this a lot when we play Minecraft together. I think the whole game the whole point of it is pretty cool, but I like building big structures. I'm also not that great at building in Minecraft, so I often follow guides to get ideas.
Everyone does. Anyone who says they don't.
Fair. I just built in our most recent server a giant castle, which I love quite a bit. It is quite large, really cool texturing and levels. A lot of cool tidbits to it. The only thing it didn't come with like in the guide was like a whole basement setup. So I'm currently doing that free-handed. You can definitely tell it's not part of the guide, and you can tell it's my craftsman work. But I got my nether portal down there, and I'm starting to make some automated farms down there when I eventually log back in. So that's been my favorite build that I've done.
Taco, what about you?
Oh, wow. Hold on. Left brain,
I know
right
Bandito
brain.
had an answer.
Pick one.
I wondered if he found the name.
I have two unintentionally.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go for it, Bandito.
Okay. My first one, the one that I usually go to, it took an uncomfortable amount of effort and a severe lack of sleep. I made a giant 5-story pagoda, which is a Japanese style tower in our old Minecraft world.
It was sick.
It took, I think I made 3 stories overnight. A friend of mine, Caramel, we binge watched all of the original Star Wars movies and then the prequels in one night while I was building it the entire time, and I wasn't done by the time we were. It was pretty nice. It was fun.
What was your second one?
I am currently refurbishing an ancient city. We slowly removed it of Skulk, and now I'm rebuilding it in my image. So,
it's pretty sick.
It's fun. It's fun.
I have two. Y'all remember last year when Crash's server got raided?
I do.
No.
Really, really vaguely.
Yeah, and everyone's houses got burned down, and everyone lost all their items in their chests, except me, because I played too many of the griefing games and stuff like that, or whatever they're called. So my shit was like locked in. And when they came in and none of my stuff was touched and my secret chest with all my goodies wasn't touched, I was like, proudest moment. My other favorite build is kind of a bunch of them. Basically, any farm that I build on Crash's server is my favorite because it pisses them off. It's a good one. But this city that I'm kind of building, it's like a little spruce-inspired village.
It looks
Thank
really good.
Thank you.
I think for
From it.
me, it would also be one in our current world, and it's just because I haven't really gotten to play with Redstone in a hot minute, and I was pretty happy with how it came out. That train station, like, there's some pretty cool stuff with it going on in there.
It's impressive.
So for
There's a
our
lot of Redstone
viewers,
things.
we have something called the Waka Waka Transit Authority, in which is a nether railroad that connects all of our houses through nether portals.
Makes life a little bit easier.
It is. This is when I talk about how Minecraft is like super cool outside of just placing boxes and making castles. I could never. But it's really nice when I need to go get things from Bandito and Lux's, or head over to Tacos, or over to Zach's. It's just easy that I'm probably 1,500 blocks away from them in the overworld, but the Waka Waka Transit Authority does have my back. We're real close.
Gets the job done.
That's
Sure
true.
does.
That train system that's all interconnected that everyone worked on, that's so underrated in our Minecraft server.
100%.
It's awesome.
We use it so much.
But I was real happy that I could actually get it, so it's just like, press a button, all the rails are set, good to go. It's not perfect, but like,
Gets the job done.
it does.
Zach, my honey farm, I filled a double chest with just honeycomb.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start, my goal later on when I have the willpower to, is to put bottles into it. So honey blocks for redstone builds, not gonna have to worry about it. And it's only at like 33% capacity.
It's the slime. I really got to work on finding a slime farm at some point.
Do that.
Anyway,
Suicide
let's
was-
get into today's topic because it's going to be a fun one. I think we'll probably have more things to say on in our outline on the last two things, but let's just talk about what came out in the new update. So, for those who are unaware, the really really big thing that they added in this one was the trials. And if you haven't heard of them, basically they're an underground structure. You can buy them from a cartographer.
Think so?
Or
Yeah.
you can just find them randomly.
Or you just find them randomly, and then you just kind of bust in through the wall, which is a little jank, but it's Minecraft, so it makes sense. But then within them,
So
there's
many.
like all of these spawners, and you kind of fight through it, and you get rewarded with these keys that you can use to open chests, and you get different rewards. And some of the rewards are pretty good. I mean, the new weapon, the mace, is locked behind that, which we'll get into later, but
You got
What
one
are-
of those.
did you get a heavy gore?
I have something called a mace. And that's all I know. And I know that Lux took it out of my chest to try it because she knew it was new, and it was pretty underwhelming in its just basic state.
You were using it wrong.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a little funky to use.
So
It like, I don't know the exact numbers on it, but it like negates your fall damage and deflects it back to the enemy you're swinging it.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
higher you
someone-
fall, the more damage
You
it
can
does.
one shot the warden.
someone will have to come to my house and test it then, because I have one.
I feel like you kind of need an elytra to use it effectively,
Or a farm.
or a farm. Anyway,
But-
I know all of us have at least been in a trial chamber and have gone through them and done some of them. What are our general thoughts on that?
I haven't done one.
You haven't done one at all?
I haven't done a single one.
There's one underneath your house.
I know. It's sitting there. The last time we all played, we were like, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we'll come over, we'll go do it," and then we all got off.
You
that sounds
should
about
do
right.
them with people if you can. They're a little bit a lot.
That's
by
why I
yourself.
haven't done it.
I
I
will
know
say,
it's be a lot, and I've only died once in this world.
oh, that's super sick of you. I
Um,
died like 6 times building my castle. The funny story with trials is that I can't remember what Bandito and I were doing that day, necessarily what we set out to do that day. Oh, I found an abandoned mine shaft underneath my house.
Yes,
My-
and you wanted to go get like iron or something.
The underneath of my house ended up being just a gold mine for resources. It was really awesome. But we were going down for like iron, really early game stuff for me. Like I
Mhm.
was like not that far into my playthrough. And we're breaking blocks, and all of a sudden there's these like copper blocks behind that aren't like normal copper ore. And I was like, Bandito, what is this? Thinking he would know. He plays much more Minecraft than I do.
I
He
had no
goes,
fucking clue.
I don't know. So we
We're
break
very
in,
good
and all
about
of a
reading the patch
sudden,
notes.
yeah,
Right?
all of a sudden it's like you got the achievement for the trials.
Yeah.
And me and him went and did trials for a while. It was pretty sick. It was a
Yeah,
good time.
You have to be careful not to go with too many people because the amount and the difficulty spikes depending on the number of players that are in the dungeon. So I think like 3 was okay, 4 was actually difficult. I had to use a few golden apples in 4 with 4 people. But it was fun. Difficult.
I went and did them by
rewarding.
myself after. I had.
I
A lot
can't
of fun with
imagine
it.
they're that difficult once you know what you're.
Oh yeah, it
Like
was
most-
definitely going in unknown. Just kind of, hey, that looks interesting. I want
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, I remember being a fly on the wall that day.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa! You got a key? I got a key. I got a key. Who's got a key? I got a key. That was all I heard for like 2 hours straight.
Pretty.
Which
The-
is a fun aspect of it.
Actually,
That
only-
is true. I haven't seen
Yeah.
people that excited since.
Say that again. You cut out at the end.
It's probably because I added a song to a playlist.
Mm.
I gotta multitask.
that would do it.
No, I said I haven't heard people like be that like hype about Minecraft like while playing it in a while. If that like that kind of hype, not like the hype where it's like, oh yay, we're getting an armadillo. It's like, oh shit, I'm about to lose it.
The best
There's a
thing
lot
that they
going on
added
down there.
to it. Yeah, there is. The best thing that they added to it is there is a room in the middle where they have beds.
Mm-hmm.
So you
That
can
was a
set
very good
respawn
choice.
point. So that
Oh,
when you
really?
inevitably die down there, you can just go pick up your shit. Which is really nice. The one change I would
Definitely a good
make
call.
is that the keys that you get from it, you can only unlock the chest once per playthrough. So when I've taken people down to, because you can play the trials over and over and over again, as many times because they respawn every 30 minutes. I think they
Give or
become
take.
active
Yeah.
again.
Something like that.
Yeah. So there was one day, so I went down to my trials with Bandito and Lux, and then there was another day when I went back down with 2 other people, and Tyler, I think you were there, Zach was there, Foon was there.
I haven't done one.
Foon was there. and I
Okay,
think
Foon was there, Zach was there,
Caramel was there.
Caramel was there.
Maybe.
There was a big caravan of us that went around, and it was fun. I had a good time, but I didn't get anything from it this time because I couldn't reopen the chests that I had already done.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what kind of cooldown you could put on that, if that's like a week.
They're so
But
common.
I don't love
They're
that you can't go back down again and reform.
Yeah, especially because there are things that are locked behind it. So to get the mace, you have to go get, I think it's the heavy core, and you can only get that if you do the ominous trials, which is they changed the way that Bad Omen works. Now you drink a potion, which is actually I think it's a great change.
Well, can't
I
you
like
do
that.
both? No, because they dropped the Bad Omen potions now. Yeah, no, you're
Mhm.
right.
Then you enter hard mode and you get
Hot-
fucked up.
Probably a hot take for you,
Love that.
Nox, but half of Minecraft is like exploration.
100%.
So I don't think they'll make it farmable purely for the fact that you get like OP shit.
And I get
Some
that
of it's
part
OP,
it.
some of it isn't.
Yeah, but some of it, like some of the stuff in end cities are OP. But there's a limited number of those.
I wanted the blocks to build with.
That's fair. I just think it's a little rough when you like, oh man, I finally found a trial chamber, and then you go unlock, your 4 or 5 ominous vaults, and hope that you get a mace core, and you still probably won't.
They are insanely common.
Are they?
Yes. Like I was
Maybe I've
watching
just
a
had
guy.
shit luck.
Yeah, I was watching a
They're-
guy who had a like a super flat world,
Mhm.
and he's had it for so long that it allows him to get the trial chambers because of the way that structures spawn if he
Mhm.
goes to new chunks. And they were like, you could stand at one and then see three more. So they're only like 20 chunks apart.
Okay.
Which doesn't surprise me because it does seem like we've found one out underneath all of our houses.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're not
So
close to each other.
Not
No.
in the slightest.
I'd be curious if Caramel started digging underneath hers because we're probably the closest in terms of proximity because she's just across the bay from me. I picked really
Yeah.
close to her to
She'd
set up shop.
probably find another. Yeah.
But if that
Mm.
would be too close, or if that's how close they can populate, you know. But I don't know. Trials are cool. I've enjoyed those.
I think in that part, it's been a big success. Like, definitely a nice little addition.
It was a good choice.
That said, how do we feel about the maze?
I haven't used it all that much.
I think it's.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's cool. It makes for great memes. But like, I feel like for some of its uses, you got to be like Dream, just without whatever stereotype follows that creator now. No hate. I don't know what happened, but there's some because 'tis the season. Apology videos.
Uh-huh.
If this podcast takes off, I'm definitely gonna have a couple just from these episodes alone.
I think we all will at some point.
Mm.
Look out, Sergi Mas.
I love you. I adore
we're
your
moving on
work.
from that.
I owned Throne of Glass 4 times.
Trying to make up for the sins of the past.
Nope. Okay, we're moving on.
Love you, girly pop. Please release your book sooner because we haven't heard anything about it.
No, we haven't. Please, early next year. I think it was. I think just the fact that they've added a new weapon. Like, what was the last new weapon that we got? Like, actually, true new weapon.
The trident.
Crossbow.
Oh, the crossbow. I
They
think
came
that
at the
was-
same time
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the
But that was
trident and
what,
the
1
crossbow
point-
came.
a while
16?
ago.
It was 1 point a
17.
while ago.
yeah.
1 point boomer status.
Yeah.
Crossbow may have come before actually the trident. Now that I think about it, because the trident released with the Phantom.
But either
Uh-huh.
way, we're looking at like at least 5 years.
Give or take.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's kind of nice to be like, hey, here's something that's like new for that particular play style. And it does play very differently. You can't use it like a sword and be nearly as effective.
More options. I like that.
Speaking of options, we have new blocks. We got new varieties of the copper block, and we got new options for the tough block. Any big thoughts on that? I mean, I like the copper blocks. I think some of the new copper blocks are super fun. I like the fact that we can do doors and trapdoors, and I like the grates. I haven't figured out how to use them in a good way, but I really like the grates.
Okay. I thought tough
Um,
was useless. I was proven wrong.
Taco,
What
it
was I gonna
sounded like you
say?
had a thought.
I did, and then I started reading and I lost it. What were we talking about?
I do
new
like
blocks.
the new tough blocks quite a bit.
The tough blocks
Actually.
are cool. My only gripe with them is that they make me feel like I'm in a cartoon.
A little.
They have a little like cell shading thing going on with them. Like they were trying to cast a shadow on a 2D texture, and it wasn't. I don't think it came out the way they wanted it to.
The chiseled
texture
tough
packs
is really
exist.
cool though.
It is.
They do.
Texture
exist.
packs exist.
Yes, they do. Why do you think mine is modded to high hell?
Got to get that Optifine. It's not even Optifine anymore, is it? What's the
Optifine is
recommended one?
useful, but with like 6 other mods, you can run it on Fabric
Yeah,
and
That's
have
the one.
more.
it's so
that I
nice
keep hearing
having
about
a
now.
computer that's able to run like that. Couldn't be me. Anyways,
No, it is always nice when we get new blocks because people always find weird and interesting new ways. I haven't seen any crazy builds with either of those blocks yet, but I'm sure something's coming.
it did make copper slightly more useful.
100%.
Slightly.
I think copper's a really pretty block to build with. It's a good accent block.
I have to be
I
careful
love the
with it 'cause
doors.
it always feels like it's too much.
The copper
It's
doors
an
are
aggressive color.
mwah.
I am excited because I decided to randomly accent my basement that I'm building right now with copper. So to find out that there were new things I could do with it, pretty cool. I'm into that. My plan right now too is I actually have my pattern in my walls is like two I think it might I don't it might be calcite blocks rows
Okay.
and then a row of the copper blocks just polished right now, and my entire ceiling is polished copper slabs. But even if I took those columns out and started using the grates there in it instead of like layering it, I think that would be cool. So that might be a use for the grates because they
You
are
could
kind of stick.
use behind those grates. You could put leaves
Ooh,
with like lighting around, like on the sides of them.
Hell yeah,
Mm.
into that. Good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Always gotta like the new building blocks. We also got bunch of little quality of life things. We haven't talked about the armadillo yet.
I don't know a thing about the armadillo other than listening to Bandito and Lux trying to corral one back to their house. That was hilarious.
2 words. Dog arm.
It does give you dog armor, which is pretty sick. I traveled, I think it was about 12,000 blocks in the overworld, attempting to get one back to my base because I did not have the materials for another portal because I don't think ahead. So I struggled the entire way there.
You got there though.
I don't know if it was worth it.
It's one of those mobs that I think is like it's cool. And being able to get dog armor is awesome, like genuinely.
It's just kind
Don't
of
know
there.
how much it's gonna be useful after that though.
They're cute.
They are cute. They've been nailing mob design for at least
Except for
the passive mobs.
Except for the rigged voting.
We'll touch base on that.
Get there.
The
Give it a few.
what?
Give it a few. I also don't have this included in our notes, but there's dog variations now.
Yes, there are.
There are.
Yep.
It's kind of weird.
Yep. I've named all the dogs after my family dogs.
I named mine George, and he sits and does nothing for hours.
Yep.
He just
He's
sits
a
and
good
waits
boy.
for you to come back home.
He's just chilling.
He's a good boy.
I walk in and Ozzy, Piper, and Sadie just stare at me like, where are we going next? Hang on. I can't trust you.
I think really all that's left to talk about in the update wise was we got some new artwork and we got some new music.
Mhm.
Which is not
Slaps.
exactly the thing.
It's
What
an
slaps?
odd one.
The music.
Oh, the
It
music
does.
slaps?
I fucking hate the Warden one that I just listened to a little while ago. Didn't enjoy that. Makes me violently uncomfortable. I don't know how he's nailed it, but the squelching sounds is a little too much for me.
If I had to choose a quick summary for this update, I would say mostly it's quality of life things. I feel like all of it is things that none of us were like, hey, we really like need this in the game right now. But it's nice to have.
Extra little things.
Yeah. Little seasoning.
I just think Pig Step is goated.
I've always been a Catman myself.
Cat's pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't really go wrong with C418.
Underrated music in that game.
Absolutely. The memories to that.
Because you already brought it up, and I do think this is something that's actually worthy of a discussion. Let's talk about the mob vote. Nox, do you have any idea what the mob
No.
vote is?
What?
Taka, you
No.
want to explain it?
Every Minecon, I'm a little rusty on it, so bear with me. Correct me if I say anything wrong. But every Minecon, they announce 3 new mobs that could be added to the game. And the hype on social media never matches the mob that's picked. It's always like Mojang picks the one that's the easiest to code in, or the one that the developers want. And so everyone doesn't like care, but what's the point of a
offering it?
mob vote if you're just gonna pick the one you want anyway?
The other thing that should get mentioned is whenever they do these votes, the mobs that aren't selected are basically said, yeah, we're never going to do that.
Yeah.
We will never add them. It's rigged.
It's a big thing why I made fun of Copper earlier, that it now got new blocks. Last update, we had the option of a Copper Golem that could be used in Redstone to press buttons for you. It'd be
But
interesting.
that's too hard to code.
But
You know
that
what's
takes
not?
too much effort.
An animal that literally just turns into a block when you walk up to it. That's not hard to code. I know we sound like flat earthers, but I swear.
So what was the vote between for the most recent one?
Oh god.
It was the
I'm not.
was
gonna
it not the
remember.
copper? I thought it was the copper golem.
So what
I'm
won?
not sure.
The Armadillo.
The Armadillo one.
Yep. Before that, the LA one. And you were
Yeah.
supposed to get a. There was another
Which,
one.
to be
that was
fair,
a-
the Allay is actually great.
For what?
You could do all sorts of cool stuff with that. You can set them up in farms.
Real quick. The Copper Golems was a little while ago. This mob vote, we had the choice between the Armadillo, the Crab, which gave you a claw that let you place blocks further, and the Penguin, that I have no idea what it did. It wasn't the picked one. It was between the Armadillo and the Crab. The update before that, the Trails and Tails update, had the Sniffer, which was added, which does basically fucking nothing.
And it's fucking insanely difficult to get.
The Rascal, which I also don't know what it does. I think it digs, but that's beyond me. And finally, the Tough Golem to mimic the Copper Golem from earlier. Also, not sure what it would do.
Oh, that's right. The copper golem lost to the LA.
Correct. The other one available in that one was the Glare. It was supposed to be one of those that you couldn't attack until there were no light sources.
It was a small ghost-like mob that would have been able to alert players to an area that is dark enough for hostile mobs.
Yeah. But then that's also when we got, before that, the Glow Squid, and even before that, the Phantom.
Which, like,
Yep.
I'm sorry, who asked for the glow squid?
No one asked for the Phantom either.
I mean, there was some hype around the Phantom. It's just everybody, as soon as they
Have
actually
you seen
experienced
the
it.
other two?
What were the other two against the Phantom?
They had the Hovering Inferno, which was in the Nether. It was going to be basically a giant blaze boss that it had one giant stick and then its head and 4 shields that spun. It was cool.
That was sick.
You also had the Great Hunger, which is a lizard-like
Yeah.
creature that sinks into the ground, camouflages itself, and consumes mobs and items with a huge mouth.
Fucking terrifying.
That's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. And you want to know a common pattern that all of these mobs that won had in common? Just what they had going for them?
They're
None
easy.
of them were polling online. None of them were the most popular vote. Not a single one of them. And yet here we are. So yeah, a little bitter.
So why do they keep doing it?
Money.
Same reason.
feel
why
like there's
Mr.
a
Krabs
marketing
built the
reason.
Second Krusty Krab right next to the original.
I feel like a lot of it is
Money.
marketing. I feel like
It's
the
all
other part of it
attention.
is
Yeah.
at
You gotta
this
think
point
about
it's
their
also
viewer
just
base.
tradition.
Their viewer base and their user base. The fact that they had to cancel Minecon in person because of security concerns for their audience. You're not looked at very brightly when you invite a bunch of miners to one area. That's a big old target.
Not fantastic. I think originally it was supposed to be more of a, hey, we're a community, we get to choose something together. We actually care about your guys' opinion. And then the
But-
second one was, hey.
Oh god.
Wow.
Shut it down. Play the outro.
I don't think that one's gonna make it.
No, it's not.
I don't think that one's gonna make it.
Fucking hilarious.
So
Yeah.
would it be putting my tinfoil hat on to say that they pick a mob way ahead of time, they know what they're gonna add, and
Absolutely.
then they design two others to go up against it to build hype for what it could
Wait,
be,
wait.
and then they pick one?
Wait for
Well, I
the
think-
next
okay.
Minecon. I'll send you all the TikTok videos of people posting propaganda about it. It's like
Perfect.
legitimate,
yes,
like
it's
Cold
bad.
War propaganda.
Perfect.
I think initially the ideas are, it's fair. The idea of the mob is like, okay, that's cool, regardless. It's when they actually start thinking of how are we going to put this in the game that it becomes, well, this one just gets small when you get close and drops shit it randomly. That's a lot better than doing literally anything else with the game. So, yeah.
I mean, these are from the same people who told us that the caves and cliffs update were gonna. They got split into what?
2 parts.
Oh,
2
God.
parts?
The trials,
did get split.
like the trial update and the caves and cliffs were supposed to be 2 of the same update, and then they split them up into 2, and then split the trials update into 2 again, and drip fed us content for like the last 4 years.
But we love Minecraft, so we keep coming back for our fans.
It's such a good game, but I think the bigger thing is like
so poorly.
I think they have such a fine line because like on the one hand they have this idea of what they want the game to be. You know,
I don't
there's so
think
many
they do.
things they do because there's things that they're like, yeah, we're never going to add that. Like they know that right off the bat. One of their big things is like they have this kind of mostly medieval-ish style that they want, which is why they're like, yeah, things like, you know, Autocrafter was something that didn't seem like they were ever going to do, and they added that in this update. We should touch on that. It's nice to have an Autocrafter, and it's nice that
I'm
it
still
actually
waiting for the
functions.
Aether update.
Good fucking Mojang does not give a shit about your opinions.
They
Now the
hired
dimension is too hard.
They
Dog
hired the main
armor.
mob or the main mod creator of the Aether.
You don't
He's a developer
understand.
now.
They want dog armor, so we're getting dog armor.
We really
So-
complaining about the dog armor.
Compared to the claw, yeah, a little.
All right, Bandito, hear me out here. 3 words. Dyed dog armor.
That does make it much better. Being able to dye
Except
the
for it
dog.
looking like shit with that skin, that fucking skin colored.
You should be
texture
able
they
to
went with.
dye both sections separately. That would make it infinitely cool.
Or just dye it all and not leave skin colored trim all over your fucking dog.
Just make the armadillos come in different colors. Collect them all.
Pretty pet.
I do think that the mob vote needs to end. I think them being like, hey, we're going to basically pick regardless of any other part of it, them basically at the end of the day deciding, yeah, there are 2 mobs we're not going to make ever. Like, it doesn't help the game.
No, because you're dangling a carrot in front of your audience and saying, here's what could have been. Get wrecked. We're never going to do it.
Would you?
But like, also, like, even like, what would a penguin do? Honestly, drop a chicken.
Let me ride the penguin across the ice like a boat.
Like,
I don't
it's the
remember
type
what
of
the initial one
it's the type
was
of mob that you
anyway.
could add, and it doesn't have to do a lot, but it would be fun to see. Have it function like a chicken in polar biomes.
I think there was
Yeah.
a big all or none. There was oh god, I don't know the word for it. Revolution, I guess. I may or may not be dropping examples in chat.
Yeah,
This-
I had a nice little reaction too while I was trying to keep it together. Other people were speaking.
Yeah. These were the past, I think, like 3 mob votes because it became increasingly obvious that Mojang does not care. They
Because
don't.
they already picked. It's already coded. It's already ready to roll.
I like looking at it now because this last vote, like the whole like rigged election thing that they've been doing for this. The election is the correct word there, right?
I think so.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
what it
that's
is. They're electing a
fine word.
mob.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell that they have like one that sounds really, really fucking cool, one that's easy to like code in, and another one that's just dog shit. Like the fucking explanation they give for the penguin is spawns on stony shores, slow on land but fast in water while also speeding up nearby boats. It's a fucking dolphin.
But can I ride it?
Happens to walk.
For cold biome areas where there's ice.
Hey, you want to know what
Can
the
I
tough
ride it?
golem does?
No.
You want to know what the tough golem does? It was a very close call.
Sure.
See, they can hold and display items.
Okay, that sounds
That's it.
awesome. No, I want those.
But
They're
that's
gonna be
legit.
all
But
in
you'll
my
never
All
get it.
does, but
You'll never get it, Knox.
It's done.
Where'd that bear
It
come
lost.
from?
You want to know what it lost to? The fucking sniffer that does nothing.
All I want is a tough golem to sit in my house and just.
You can wake them up and they'll walk around.
So I'm gonna throw this out there. There is actually a
You
mod
could
pack. I
have.
don't know
You
the
could have
name
done
of it
that.
off the top of my head, but there is a mod pack that is literally just all of the mobs from the mob vote that didn't get voted in.
That's fantastic.
Probably took him a day.
Less.
It's actually not just side project.
I don't think they've known where they've been going since they kicked it.
I was gonna say, I think since their acquisition by Microsoft, their priorities have been
Money.
really skewed.
Money.
It's not just
Money.
money, it's like even the things that they do throw resources into, like Minecraft with RTX. Super cool technology. Like, actually genuinely cool. Because they were
been on
pretty
shaders forever.
But they were early on that train. They were one of the first games to come out with it. Like, they were really actually like working on it super upfront. But at the same time, it's like, why did you guys do it for Bedrock and Bedrock only? Like, I get
Because they don't
that.
like Java. It's the same
No.
reason why the void in Bedrock has a floor.
Does it?
Yes. So when you throw your trident at the Ender Dragon and fucking whiff, because you're not any of the Minecraft YouTubers you thought you were, it hits the floor and comes back to you. The little thing. Yeah, in Bedrock, you can
Forgiven.
actually, in creative, you can drop down and walk across the void.
Mhm.
It definitely feels like it has felt for a long time that Bedrock is the beloved child, and in some ways I do get it because they're not just trying to. They're in supporting Bedrock. They're supporting PC. They're supporting Xbox. They're supporting PlayStation. Switch, I think, is built on
Switch.
Bedrock,
Yep.
Sure is.
and I think Pocket now is also based on
Pocket
Bedrock.
spawned Bedrock. So
Yeah.
they separate they removed Pocket Edition and then modded it to be Bedrock. So Bedrock is just is an echo of Pocket Edition. I literally just watched a whole video on every edition of Minecraft there has been. It's crazy.
Good timing.
Yeah, actually.
So like I get wanting to focus on Bedrock for that reason, but at the same time, the reason why the game became not I shouldn't say the reason why it became popular, but one of the reasons why it's had so much longevity is because Java's great. Java lets you mod.
Have you ever
Have you ever tried to
looked
play
into
Minecraft on a Switch?
pain in the ass?
Well,
It's
that's more of a
bad.
statement to the Switch.
Have
Well,
you
correct. Have you ever
That-
tried to play any
Yes.
PC game on the Switch, except for like Stardew? Got it.
bad?
But I
tried to
also
play any
can't
Switch
imagine.
game on the Switch.
Hey, hey, I'm having fun over here, getting my
Um,
money's worth. Um,
Have you looked at the store on Bedrock?
no.
Yeah, that's another whole thing where I think
That's-
they're
That's why they support Bedrock so much. Is because it costs you $20 to change your texture pack.
yeah.
I paid $10 to Patreon to get a high quality texture pack. Like high quality, not still 16 by 16. It's like 512. And then all the ones in between. That's my thing. Bedrock is where the money's at for them. Because
And I don't disagree with that. I just
when was
think
the
that the
last time you bought
longevity of
Minecraft?
been a while.
Mhm.
But I would say that easily the longevity of the game is in Java, and it's not just because you buy it once and you have it forever. Because technically, you can do that with Bedrock now too. You don't have to go buy new skins. You don't have to go buy new. What's the multiplayer?
Extra packs. Oh, Realms.
No, but in a
Realm-
social
not
world
Realms,
where everyone
there's another
wants
thing
to
in there.
express themselves nowadays, gotta, you know,
Well, I was gonna say like so many of the things, so many of the like little great things that have come out of Minecraft. I feel like Java was kind of it was the platform for all of them. So I've never played Education Edition, but the very fact that that exists, it's still a Java product. There are so many young coders out there these days who are learning Java, and it's because they wanted to mod Minecraft.
which blows my mind because Java was supposed to die years ago,
Yes.
and Mojang is the only thing keeping it alive right now.
Well, Oracle's gonna fight to keep it alive, but that's a separate.
Well, because Oracle bought it because they realized what was behind it.
Oracle's a whole separate conversation. We're not gonna get into that one.
Yes, yeah, that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
Not a different episode, a different podcast.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think ignoring Java is definitely it's been a trend of theirs, and I think it's foolish and stupid.
It's Mojang.
I will say one of the biggest like apologies that they have given the devs did this. This wasn't I think this went over Mojang's head when they did this was releasing the SDK of or like the whole code of Java to make it easier for modders.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a great apology for Bedrock.
Did make it significantly easier to mod.
Mm-hmm. Because then you don't have to crack every update.
Yeah.
Now Java is Minecraft modded.
Thank you, CurseForge.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Beast, for funding 100 for 10,000.
So to try and just wrap up our conversation, like, what are we hoping for in the next update or two for Minecraft?
The tough golem, please.
Yeah, I was about to
Personally,
say, if you check the general chat of this server real quick, the sweaty casuals general,
I'll
you will
read it.
notice time
Bandito's
and
waiting
time
for the
again.
sex update. That's what he just said.
Oh my god!
I don't know why he didn't say it over voice,
Wow.
but
Damn.
But Mojang propaganda. I want the mob vote to stop. I think it was an interesting idea that was very poorly executed.
I think people would be a lot happier with the mobs they add if they would just, I don't know,
If they were actually
fucking add
voted
them.
on,
Let us vote on I don't know, blocks. Those seem to be pretty easy to code in.
Tyler, you and I do enough programming things to know adding them is easy, but like keeping it. I also know that they're just trying to keep block ID sizes down.
Yeah.
So like I do kind of get it, but I would like some more variety. I think one of the big things that I would like, other than the mob vote, I think the mob vote needs to go. I would really love to see just like some simple things that have been asked for in the community in the past that have been ignored for one reason or another. Really need to be reevaluated. Dyed plank woods. Wood planks. Like that's not a big ask.
but it takes
And it-
energy.
But it
takes
doesn't
effort.
take that
coding.
much.
That takes so much time. You don't understand.
Also, go
that.
fucking match the dark oak wood, the dark oak log, to the stripped version. Planks in the stripped log don't look the same at all.
Touched a nerve there, huh?
No, it
A
looks
little
more
bit.
like
Somebody pointed
spruce.
it out to me, and I was like, God damn it.
Yes.
I want another dimension.
Good
would be cool.
fucking luck.
Yeah,
I will
they
give you
seem.
Been a
$200
long-
on the spot if that shit happens. It ain't going to.
Next update?
Good luck.
A, they're coming.
Yeah.
They're gonna light that portal in the ancient city.
First disappointment.
Dude, that was such a big disappointment.
Right? Seeing videos of that shit online and then trying to go like, oh, this is such a cool update. Nothing. It was nothing but heartache and pain.
What's crazy to me is it's not fucking difficult for them to mod or to design in dimensions. They had a whole April Fool's update that added infinite dimensions.
Yep. And then promptly forgot about it
Yeah.
because they're assholes.
It's possible. They just don't want to. For whatever reason. The game is like what? 8 gigs? Call of Duty is 130.
They can spare a few.
They could spare a few.
You know what I'd call their lack of dimensions? Intentional game design.
Fucking city.
Yeah,
Let's,
I guess so. It's called Minecraft, not Explorecraft or Mine Explorer.
That's a mod.
As what?
That's a mod.
Is it?
I'm sure it is.
Would
Everything's
you
a mod if you
even
look.
be surprised? Anything that Mojang thought about doing and never followed through, there's something about it.
Let's wrap it up and we'll get into our real world segment where we talk about things that are going on in our life outside of gaming sometimes, oftentimes. Could be movies we're watching, music we're listening to, books we're reading, TV shows we're watching, just things going on in our lives that may or may not be related to video games.
Well, it's
Bandito, I know you
July
got prepared.
29. What movie is everyone watching?
I do have one prepared. So I've been on a binge lately. Initially, it started out, it lost. It won Game of the Year a while back over a game that I adored and was promptly upset. It took about 2 years of convincing. I picked up Elden Ring and the Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC that goes with it.
Mm-hmm.
I have 100%ed it, and this is the easiest way to win, the most effective way to win. It is using the giant greatsword, also known as Guts' greatsword, using the Lion's Claw Ash of War with the Armor of Solitude set. If you recognize any of this, it is because it is the correct way to play. Any other options are made by bitches who love magic. That's all.
Knox?
Sure. I
What book are you
have.
reading?
I'm not even going to talk about that
Good
Because
for
I-
you!
because I haven't read a page in a book in like a week.
Oh,
That's right, because there's a
Because-
difference between collecting and buying books and
Correct.
reading
And this
books.
thing's got me by the chokehold right now. I did start Arceus again today. I have decided to rewatch Game of Thrones for the second time in my life.
and you
And I-
didn't share.
Things aren't going good at home.
Because, like, I haven't seen it. Oh,
Have you never seen it?
no.
You missed the episode where we had a whole discussion.
few-
You want my
yeah, I
HBO
think I got
login?
through a few episodes. No, I have HBO.
Oh, okay.
I've just never sat down and fully
we
watched
we
it.
can watch some of it. But anyway, I've been rewatching because I'm only like 7 episodes into season 1 right now. I've been rewatching it in the background because I've been really obsessed with House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon has been really, really good, and there are a lot of things in the original show that went over my head that kind of call back to their history of the Targaryens and the Velaryons. And I've had a really, really good time in the first few episodes, even picking out things like there's a scene where I'm gonna lose his name because he doesn't matter, and he has one of the sickest deaths in TV history.
Spoilers.
Daenerys' older brother. So sorry. Dude, last 6 episodes.
Oh.
It is Viserys. It is
It is,
Viserys.
yeah.
Are you talking about
so
in the
that's
first in Game of Thrones, not House of Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
there is a character in Game of Thrones named Viserys.
No, I know. You're
But he
talking
talks about
the crown.
walking through the throne room and seeing the skulls of all the dragons, and he starts naming them off, and one of them is Vhagar, who is a huge dragon in House of the Dragon. Even naming Daenerys names her unborn child Rhaego, which is now I can see a combination between a Targaryen name starting with Rey, because you have like Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, and then Drogo using the go at the end. So it's been fun to like nerd out and pick up some of those things that call back to that history. But other than that, I just want to feel something again. And that show seems to do it to me because all my favorite characters never make it out.
I can't believe you just said that out loud.
Said what?
Never mind.
What did I say out loud? Because I want to
Game of
feel
Thrones
something.
makes you feel something?
Yeah, because everyone dies and it makes me sad. So at least I'm feeling some kind of
Jesus
emotion.
Christ.
Tyler, what have you
Ta-
been up to?
Yeah,
I
what are you doing?
watched not the movie, but the TV show by the wonderful Donald Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which I'm pretty sure desensitized me for Deadpool 3.
That would do it.
That show is knuckin' fut. Also, I've realized now that with turning 25, I am like a sport athlete that has retired because he's too old. I don't feel anything from video games anymore, and I get more enjoyment out of talking about them than actually playing them.
Until you get to my age.
Don't put that evil on me.
It's coming.
No, I won't let it happen.
I will occasionally play League because, much like Nox, it's the only thing that makes me feel something
You
anymore.
just want to feel something.
I haven't been the same since Tekken caused me to right hook my monitor.
That would do it.
That staring at a black screen to my left kind of ruins the mood constantly. And with
was
my
Tekken and
OCD,
Street
I
Fighter.
can't have different monitors. So I have to buy 3 new monitors.
Start eBay.
Anyway,
Zach, what
I'm
have you been
waiting.
up to?
Facebook Marketplace. That's the modern thing, right? God, what the hell have I been up to? I've been working. That's all I do anymore.
You said Facebook and modern in the same sentence?
I said Marketplace specifically. Nobody actually uses Facebook for
That's true.
social media anymore.
That's true. Craigslist is still around.
Craigslist
If your
is
business
dead.
has a Weird Al song written about you, you're too old.
Ouch.
Bandito is muted. For a reason.
Sorry about that. I hit an unexpected company.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh,
Company.
goodness, yeah.
Zach, bleep that out.
Know exactly who that is.
Uh-huh.
What the hell have I had going on? I have been reading when I have a little bit of time. Nox has convinced me to start Throne of Glass, which I don't think I've talked about on the show at all. I've started that. I've read the first 2 books now. I'm gonna start the 3rd one probably the next day or 2.
Oh my god, I've made no progress on Wings of
I
Ruin.
sure you haven't.
How have you not?
It's been a busy few weeks, okay? I promise you there's big stuff going on that I haven't had time.
I found that one so easy to just breeze through.
When it hits me and I've got to read something, I'll go through so many pages in one night and then not touch it for a week.
Oh,
I will finish it one of these days.
I mean,
for those unaware, this is also the same author. So
Yeah.
I haven't finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, mainly because I travel too much, too afraid to read that book in public.
That's justified.
Nah, be a
Don't
man. Read it
be.
at work in front of your
I was gonna
office.
say,
That's what I did.
you're just tell them if anybody asks you on Bike Talk. Trust me, you'll do fine.
On what talk?
Bike
Bike
Talk.
talk. Yeah. If not, just get a different dust sleeve.
Put a dust cover over it.
and do not show off the inside of the book.
Why are there pictures?
No, but you read.
No,
any
there's
of
a coloring
those
book, though.
words,
There's
There's
a
a coloring book?
There
There's a
is.
coloring
For
book.
Throne and Glass and Akatar.
You horny fuck.
I haven't totally fallen in love with Throne of Glass yet. I'm hoping that'll
Just
change.
wait. Just wait.
She keeps saying that.
That's what
but
she keeps saying. And you know what? In
Kingdom
her
of Ash
defense,
is the best book you'll ever read.
A Court of Thorns and Roses, I didn't enjoy the first one. And I will stand by that.
You
Second
are
one was
wrong,
great.
and that's okay. I
The
love
second one
first
was awesome.
Yeah.
But man, the first one, it felt like, until I got to the last 100 pages, I was like, can we please fucking do something? Anything?
It's a good
Maybe leave the house
introduction
for a
back
bit.
into the world of reading. It pulls you
It
in
is.
just enough and then gives you a really exciting ending that the amount of people that I've even seen in my own life or on TikTok that reignited their love for reading with that book, myself included. I hadn't been on a reading kick since I was a kid. And I read
Question,
Akatar, and now
the-
I own 200 books, and I've read 50 in the last year. So
I was going to say, I've done 27 since January, and I'm pretty excited with that.
I'm at 20. I'm on my 21st.
I don't count.
I have a whole spreadsheet. So
Nox, take us out.
anyway, all right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our discussion today. I would never. We release these episodes weekly, but if that's not often enough for you, we are always available in the Snowflake Sanctuary Discord server. If you want to offer your own insight, have any ideas for what you want to hear, or just think that we sound like a cool group of people, then click that link in the description and come on and join us. Thank you again to Lord Bandito and Taken Tacos for joining us this evening, and thanks to you for listening to us. And we hope to see you in the next one. Bye!
Oh, were you expecting an out-of-pocket comment? You don't
Yeah,
get one this
usually.
week.
I
You
was
already-
gonna. So until Tyler did it, I was gonna say, Tyler, you better put your fucking hands up before I get violent, and then just leave it.